Do you charge in your home currency but then have other expenses in US dollars? Or do you have multiple currencies that you charge in and then you have a different currency that you actually pay yourself and you're wondering, how the heck am I supposed to implement Profit First and use YNAB if I have all these different currencies? Hi, my name is Amber Duggar, founder of Profit for Keeps, and in today's Profit for Joy TV episode, we are going to be talking all about how to handle multiple currencies with both Profit First and YNAB. So there's a lot of reasons why you may come across this issue. Let's say that you're in Australia and you are charging in Australian dollars, but then you have a lot of expenses that are coming out as US dollars. Or maybe you're in Canada and you have both a USD bank account and a Canadian dollar bank account, and you're trying to figure out how to appropriately start with Profit First when you have these separate currencies. Or maybe you're in the US and you are receiving expenses and expense quotes in US or in British pounds and sterling pounds or in Australian dollars. All of these are great questions to wonder, like, how the heck am I going to use Profit First with all these different currencies? Well, let's first talk about what we want to be accomplishing, and that is we want to run a profitable, sustainable business, right? That's overarching. If we take away all the detail and all of the complexity, we're trying to make sure that we can consistently pay ourselves, have enough money for taxes, have enough money for business expenses, and be profitable. So if we take a step back and look at the concept of Profit First, which is money comes in, we have a certain portion going to profit, certain portion going to owner's pay, certain portion going to business expenses, and certain portion going to taxes. Regardless of what currency you're receiving, the process is the same, right? You're just going to be exchanging the amount into your home currency first. Or if you have separate bank accounts, it may be a bit more complex. So here's rule number one with YNAB. YNAB can only handle one currency per budget. Let me say that again. YNAB can only handle one currency per budget. So let's use the example of a Canadian business that has a USD business account, a Canadian business account, and a Canadian personal account. Well, in traditional Profit for Keeps setup, we would have one budget for your business with your business accounts connected, and one personal budget with your personal accounts attached. So the only difference here would be that you would have a third budget in your business or in your whole setup. So you would have the same personal budget with your home currency, your Canadian dollar. Then you'd have two business budgets, one in US dollars, one in Canadian dollars. Those two budgets are going to funnel into the same concept of all money coming in, whether it's in US or Canadian dollars. They're going to be separated out into profit, owner's pay, taxes, business expenses. All of that money, when exchanged to the Canadian dollar, will make up how much money you're putting towards your revenue goal. So what you want to do, and I recommend that you actually draw this out on a piece of paper, the flow of your money. So if you have money coming in US dollars and you have expenses coming out of that account, you also have money coming in Canadian dollars and you have expenses coming out of that Canadian account, I want you to think of it this way. You're going to have a flow chart on your piece of paper. Money coming in, where does it go first? Does it go to your Canadian account? Does it go to your US account? Just make sure to draw it, the different paths that it can go. Ultimately, once you've drawn out the money that's coming in from your Canadian account and versus your US account, all of that makes up your business revenue. And then you can pay yourself in Canadian from either one of those accounts. If you already have a process in place that you convert some of your US dollars into Canadian dollars on the business side, you could then move all of your US owner's pay, for example, into your Canadian account, and then pay yourself fully from the Canadian account into your personal Canadian account. Ultimately, you just want to draw it out and look at it and just ask yourself, what is the simplest way for this to work? The main key thing you want to remember when using YNAB is that you can only have one currency per budget. Now, let's take another example. Let's say that you're in Australia, you're charging in Australian dollars, and you have some business expenses that are in US dollars. How do you do this? Well, if you are like most, you are probably putting that on a credit card, and hopefully you found a credit card that doesn't have international transaction fees. There are definitely a few available in the US. That may not be the case in Australia. For anyone from Australia watching, please do let me know. Laura, if you're watching, let me know. And so you want to be putting these on a credit card. I always recommend that you actually charge in the currency that the original charge originates from. So for example, if you have a US dollar expense, it gets charged on your Australian dollar card. Don't check the box saying, make the conversion for me. Allow the bank to do it. You will always be better off. You're going to have a much more favorable conversion fee when you have the bank do it versus having the vendor do it. But ultimately, these are now going to show up in your home currency in Australian dollars. So if you had a $15 US expense and it was converted to 18 Australian dollars, you can just take an average of what you believe you've been paying for that over time, because as you know, the exchange rate will fluctuate. But just put that Australian exchange in your business expenses. So if you have the $15 US charge, put 20, or whatever the exchange rate is as of right now. And that way you can start to really prepare for having these expenses come in at variable amounts, but it's still going to be coming in as an Australian charge to your credit card. And therefore you can still just have an Australian business budget and the one Australian personal budget in YNAB. So you won't need to do multiple currencies for that. So here's the steps that I want you to go through. Step 1, sit down and draw it out. Make a diagram of your cash flow. Step 2, remember this rule, only one currency per YNAB budget. Step 3, determine how many YNAB budgets you need. Remember, it has to do with the currency first and foremost. So if you have more than one currency, like a different bank accounts of different currencies, that's going to give a hint of how many budgets you're going to need to create. Step 4, start creating your budgets. Things to keep in mind. If your expenses are converted from US dollars to your home currency, you may not need multiple budgets, like we mentioned before. Ways to save money when expenses are charged in US dollars or other currency that is different of your own are the following. Making sure that they are charging in the original currency and have your bank make that change, that transaction change. The conversion will always be more favorable if you do it in the home currency of the vendor. Remember to keep it simple but usable, and there's always a solution. As Marie Forleo says, everything is always figure-outable. So this is something that we go very deep dive in Profit for Keeps, and when people bring this up into office hours, we can do diagrams, we can talk this out. This is the type of thing that a lot of people do struggle with, and I'm telling you right now, stick with this. You've got this. You can absolutely make this work for you. This was such a great question. Someone sent this in from our group. So thanks again for watching this. I'm so happy to hear you guys are enjoying these videos. It means the world to me that you are here, that you are watching, and that you have subscribed. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell notification so that you can be notified of future tip videos, and consider sharing this video with someone you feel would really be helped or would really feel like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. If that would be helpful to them, please share it with them. If you are interested in becoming a part of the cash flow savvy entrepreneur group that's called Sweet Life Purposeful Money, we would love to have you. Please go over to amberduggar.com/community to join. And I just want to thank you again for being here. Remember, money is simply a resource, and there's making peace with, I don't know if I'm ever going to get this right, and making peace with money allows you to pursue the things you enjoy with freedom. Thanks so much, and much love to you. See you next time.